Hello YouTube, this is Dan again. I just did a video just now, but I want to do another one. This one is going to be actually a mixture of two. I'm going to do my technology blog and my entertainment blog all in one for today for this video, because there's not really enough to fill like a 10-minute void with either of them. So I'm just going to put them all together in one, and hopefully the time turns out pretty good. So first, on the front of technology, Apple has recently released the Magic Trackpad, which is meant to be used with desktops, like Mac desktops, the iMac and stuff. You know, I saw this thing and I'm thinking, funny, it looks like a Wacom, basically. And that's all it really is. I think Steve Jobs has officially sent his intent out to kill the mouse. And I think he might have succeeded with this one. So it'll be fun to see what happens with this. I mean, I like a mouse, personally. I think a mouse is a good thing to use with a computer. I actually use a Logitech M305 with my laptop because I can't stand the trackpad on that. So why would I want to use a trackpad with my Mac, which I don't even have? But if I can ever afford to, I would actually love to do an Alienware computer for gaming, and then get a MacBook for everything else, but that's probably not in the cards for a long, long time. Yeah. Dell has recently announced that they are going to be selling a few more computers with Linux, specifically Ubuntu, pre-installed. I think this will be interesting because only a day or two ago, there was an article reporting that Dell was dropping their support of Ubuntu being pre-installed on any computers. That article was actually funny, because one of the reasons Dell lists as a reason to switch to Ubuntu would be, switch to Ubuntu if you don't plan to use Windows. And here is a direct quote from the article, which had me laughing. It had a few people I showed the article to laughing, so I thought it was funny. It said, I have two fruit in my hand. You must eat one or you will die. They're mango and papaya. Choose mango if you don't plan to eat papaya. No shit, Dell. And I personally thought that, in and of itself, was priceless. Mango, papaya. Windows, Ubuntu. That's like saying, buy a Dell or an Apple computer. Choose Apple if you don't plan to use Dell. Yeah, that's obvious, okay? So that's obvious. Another fun one I saw, another fun article I saw, I was up late last night, I was flipping through Dig.com's technology section, I found a potential iPad killer. It is a tablet for $150 that is going to be distributed by Kmart. I'm actually going to try and run down to the local Kmart as soon as I get a chance to see if they carry it, because I'd love to see it, maybe play with it a little bit, and possibly get it, because it looks like a $150 touchscreen computer, and I have a technology addiction that I would get that, and then I would get the iPad, and I would use both of them regularly. I'm sorry, my nose itches today. So, yeah, I would probably buy it, maybe. I mean, if I get that job, I'll be making money, so, you know. I'm trying to think, anything else big on the technology front? Oh, yes, one more big thing. This is iTunes related. I recently discovered a very good podcast. And this is kind of also going to serve to segue into entertainment. If you're a fan of the Pokemon games, we're talking the Game Boy Color games, the Game Boy games, the Game Boy Advance games, the DS games, all that. I found a very good podcast on iTunes today. I actually know the guy who runs it, the host. It's called Pokemon Podcast Purple Version. I'm not sure what the exact search term is, but if you want to get like updates on the show and stuff, you can follow Pokemon Podcast on Twitter.com. That's just Twitter.com, and they're at Pokemon Podcast. So I want to actually send a happy birthday out to the host of that show, because I know his birthday is like either today or it's right around this time. I'm not 100% sure, because he lives on the other side of the country from me. But I know him through an old show he used to do called Game Failure, which I also thought was great. And I'm noticing little elements of Game Failure are kind of spilling into Pokemon Podcast, which is fun. And I listened to the first episode today. It's a great show. I still have to go in and review it on iTunes, but it's definitely a 5-star show in my opinion. So, out to the host of that, happy birthday, Steve. Entertainment-wise, I've read some good stuff, like Lindsay Lohan's hairstylist and a few makeup people are currently on call. In case she gets released over the weekend, from midnight tonight, they're on call. So it'll be fun to see if she gets released in the next few days, and if she has time to have her makeup done. The Expendables, I believe, is coming out soon, if it hasn't already come out. I'm very excited about seeing that. It looks good. For those of you who haven't heard yet, Sylvester Stallone broke his neck filming the movie, and they gave him a cadaver bone, which is kind of cool. He's got a ghost in his neck. I'm kidding. Or am I? So, yeah, that looks like a good movie. I'm also excited about seeing Scott Pilgrim vs. the World and Dinner for Schmucks. Both of those also look like very good movies. I thought I'd just mention that because there's not a lot of news coming out of Hollywood right now. I want to try and find online to watch the Barack Obama episode of The View, and I'll definitely be doing a video on that, because it is not every day that the president appears on a daytime talk show, and it is definitely not every day where you have a president who's as technologically in tune as Barack Obama. I mean, the man uses an iPod, the man has a BlackBerry, the man has a Twitter account. I haven't seen George Bush on Twitter. So, it's really cool to see that he's into the whole technology thing, and he understands that we need to technologically move forward as a nation so we can catch up with places like Japan and China. Because technology is definitely where the future is at. So, I will definitely be doing a video on Barack Obama on The View as soon as I get a chance to see that episode, because I missed it this morning. Other than that, I don't really have a lot to report. Like I said, check out Pokemon Podcast. That's twitter.com, and they're at Pokemon Podcast, like the little @ and then Pokemon Podcast. You can actually follow me on Twitter if you're interested in seeing my updates, because like I said, I cater to everybody. Technology, entertainment, music, vlogging, all that. I am twitter.com/Dan Stransky. That's DANSTRANSKY, all one word. And I actually have a Tumblr account. I can't remember if the URL is hollywoodlights.tumblr.com or hollywoodlights92.tumblr.com. I will update that in the next video when I check that out. I'm still pulling together the list of links I want to list at the end of each of my videos. And I don't really have anything else to say, so until next time, this is Dan signing off. I'll catch you later.